This isn't even half of them, and I don't know whether to be proud or ashamed of myself. Hello my lovely people, my name is Michaela. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things books. I'm taking myself to Book Buyers Anonymous. I'm taking myself off because honestly I have a problem. The amount of books that I have to show you today is not okay. I've got over 40 books to show you. Over 40 books, and listen, that's not normal, okay? But I do just want to start this with a bit of a disclaimer. I am so lucky that I do get sent quite a lot of books, whether they are ARCs, whether they are books that have just been published, and I also buy a lot of books. But what comes with that is I also get rid of a lot of books. I'm pretty brutal. I read, I want to say on average between 10 and 15 books a month, and I only keep books that I absolutely love. So although I buy a lot of books, I do get rid of a lot of books. If a book doesn't rate 3.5 stars, maybe 4 stars or more, I will take it to the charity shop or I will sell them secondhand. And it could be worse. Do you know what I mean? Buying books makes me happy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to show you the books. God knows how long we're going to be here for, but it's going to be a good video. Thank you so much for being here. I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button and you stuck around, and let's get into these books. Okay, I have grouped these by ARC, so books that aren't out yet, although they may be out now, depending on them. This is a collective book haul. I've collected these, I want to say, over the last 2 months, which is still ridiculous. Books I've been sent and books I've bought myself. Full transparency, you know? Let's start out with the books I bought myself. And the first one is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier, because I am in my Jennifer Hillier era. I am determined to finish her backlist. She is cementing herself as one of my favourite authors. I think I've given every book she has written 5 stars. Literally every book. The final 2 I've got to read are this one and also Wonderland. And I don't own Wonderland, so I'm going to buy that next month. Because I am trying to be sensible, you know. Whether that's working out for me or not is debatable. But I am going to read this and then I'm going to buy Wonderland. I actually think this is Jennifer Hillier's, technically her newest release. I want to say it came out last year, maybe. She doesn't release books that often. That's what I found with her. I don't even think she's got her next one announced yet. But yeah, this is her latest one. And I believe it follows a woman named Paris whose husband is found dead in the bathtub. And she is automatically suspect number 1. I want to say as well, her husband is a celebrity. And I do love books, you know, where they focus on celebrity culture, the news that comes from that and the attention from that. So I'm so excited to read that. This is on this month's TBR as well. The next book is a book that I am currently reading, and that is The Mirror House Girls by Faith Gardner. And I want to say I'm 50% through this currently, and I am loving it. This is my second book from Faith Gardner. The other one that I have read was called The Prediction, which is a bit of a near future kind of book. If you like John Mars's books such as The One, The Marriage Act, The Family Experiment, it very much gave those vibes. This isn't that. This is just your standard thriller, but it's focusing on cults. If you've watched any of my videos, you will know how I feel about cults. I bloody love them. And I always love reading about how people actually get sucked into these cults. And I think I could potentially get sucked into a cult. If you ever see me acting a bit weird and preaching a bit too hard, send help. This is on Kindle Unlimited though, so I'm reading it on my Kindle because it's so much easier to read, isn't it? I don't know how people read physical books in bed. I actually don't. I will die with my Kindle in my hand, literally. This book is following a girl named Winona who it doesn't really have much going on in her life. She's a young girl. I want to say she's in her 20s, and she meets another girl at a self-help grief kind of group, and she's oh, come and have a look at my house. They live in the Mirror House. Come and have a look. And she quickly gets wormed into a cult. But it's interesting because when people are in cults, they don't think they're in a cult, do they? So yeah, so far so good. I am also reading it in a reading vlog, which I think might be out before this video. If it is, I'll leave it up above. Noelle W. Eiley is a kind of new to me author. I read her for the first time last month. I read Grey After Dark and I absolutely loved it. I found her writing so easy to read. I was gripped with the story. So that made me even more excited to read more of her books. So once I finished Grey After Dark, I did order this. This is None Left to Tell. And I want to say this is a historical thriller. Something Noelle W. Eiley seems to do is she bases her books on fictional retellings of like events that actually happened. And I know some people don't like that, but I do think like she makes it very clear like, that they are fictional versions of them events. And this says it's about 3 women who are connected by one of the most brutal mass slayings in US history, which I think took place in the 1800s. So yeah, historical vibes, obsessed, I'm here for it. I do have her next book pre-ordered. It comes out in the UK, I want to say on the 16th of May, and that's called Such Quiet Girls, and I have seen glowing reviews because I think it is out in America already. So I have got that pre-ordered. So I'll be saving that for the next book haul. The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley is one I had on my radar because this was nominated in the Goodreads Choice Awards for the sci-fi category, I think it was, and it's just come out in paperback. So when I seen it in Waterstones and it was in the buy one get one half price deal, I was like, you're coming home with me. Also, they had like loads of copies of it all in different colours, and I've never seen that done before. I want to say they had like 4 different colours. So they had like the pink, the orange, the blue, I think, and there was another one. And like, I absolutely love that. I wish more publishers would do that. And then like you can pick the colour that interests you the most, you know? I let Amy pick and she picked the pink, and then I really like it with the yellow spine. That's so cute. I literally love it. I did see though my friend Griff Reads on here, and she didn't enjoy it. She didn't enjoy it. I think I've seen like very mixed reviews. People either love this book or they absolutely hate it. So from what I know about this book, I think it's set in our time, but we have discovered time travel. So we can bring people back from the past into our world. So my understanding of it is that it follows like the aftermath of bringing these people back, like from the 1800s to now. So I am excited to read it, and I'm excited to see what side I'm going to fall on, whether like I love it or hate it. It's got a map. I bloody love a map. Do you not find like it's typically like I am a thriller girl through and through, and like thriller books never really like have fun stuff like that in them, do they? It is always the other genres, although Alice Feeney's Beautiful Ugly, that did have a map actually. Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. No, that's not this isn't an IKEA book. Don't be fooled. Is this not the coolest book you've ever seen in your life? Like, look at the back in here. It literally could be an IKEA catalogue. I have never ever seen a book like this in my entire life. And it is actually a book. So yeah, this is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix, I recently read Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by him, and I absolutely was obsessed with it. And I was like, I need to read more books from him. There is another one that's going to be coming up in the haul as well. And to be honest with you, I've wanted to read this before I read the Witchcraft for Wayward Girls because this just looks so cool. And it's like one of those books that's been in my Amazon basket forever and I've just never checked out. But when I was in Waterstones recently and I seen it in there, and I was like, oh, fine, okay, I'll bring you home if you insist. So this follows a group of people who work in a shop that is not IKEA. And every morning when they come to work, like the whole shop has been smashed up. So they volunteer to like camp out one night to find out what's going on. And it's a horror book. And I think Grady Hendrix typically writes like camp horror. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls wasn't. So yeah, I'm excited. And I've seen really good things about this book. If you've read any of these books, please tell me what you thought of them. Like, tell me which ones I need to get to like now. Tell me which ones I can like potentially read in a few months. Let me know. The Housekeepers by Alex Hay is actually the book that I got in the buy one get one half price deal with the Ministry of Time. And I think, again, this is a historical thriller mystery. I think it's more mystery, to be honest. This is going to have a map in it. It's got to have a map. Come on, give it to me. Where's the map? There's no map. So this is set in the Victorian era, and it follows a group of women who are going to conduct a heist. I'm sorry, Victorian era? Women doing a heist? Oh my God, gimme. I was a bit nervous though, because when I bought this, I then stupidly looked at the Goodreads rating and it was so low. And I was like, why have I done that? Because like automatically then I'm going into it with the expectations that I'm not going to like it. And I hate that. I hate that I'm like so easily influenced like that. But my friend Ashley has just read it and he absolutely loved it. So I'm back excited. I'm in. This author has actually released another book and it's called The Queen of Fives, and I don't know if that is linked to this one maybe. I don't think it's a sequel, although I feel like I've seen somewhere that it is. I don't know. But anyway, that one says, in Victorian high society, London's most talented con woman has 5 days to win the game of her life. So hopefully I love this and then I can pick up the Queen of Fives. God, I hope you've got a cup of tea or something, guys. I've got my monster. The next book I want to talk to you about is Jenny Quinn's Rise to Fame by Olivia Ford. This is another one that I was waiting for it to come out in paperback because I had my eye on it when it was in hardback. But like, I'm really trying not to buy hardback books lately because they just take up so much room on the bookshelves. And like, realistically, like, I could just buy it on my Kindle if I wanted to read it like immediately. So I purposely waited for it to come out in paperback, and look at the cover. So the genre, I'm not sure on. I'm gonna go with cozy mystery. That's what I'm going on initial thoughts, because we basically follow a woman called Jenny Quinn who has gone on a baking show, may or may not be the Great British Bake Off, and she has unexpectedly like rose to fame from that TV show. Everybody loved her. What she wasn't prepared for was that like level of attention that was going to come from that. And she may or may not have a secret that she's trying to keep from her family and her husband. So what is that secret? I don't know what it is. I just love books about baking. I read a book last year, could have been the year before, called The Golden Spoon. And I had such high hopes for that, but unfortunately it just didn't hit. So I'm hoping this is going to give me what that book didn't. I found a copy of Peter Swanson's The Kind Worth Saving in the charity shop for £2.50, and it is in literally perfect condition. I don't think that this has been read. I spoke about The Kind Worth Killing in my thriller books I should have given 5 stars video. I'll link that up above for you. Go check that out. And people then in the comments were like, you need to read The Kind Worth Saving. And I was like, I do, you're right. And then a week later, I found it in the charity shop. If that wasn't the stars aligning, I don't know what was. So obviously I got it. £2.50. There's nothing better, is there, than a good charity shop finds. So obviously I've not read this yet, but it is the sequel to The Kind Worth Killing. So I'm pretty sure you will need to read that book first. But go read that book because it is incredible. And I'm hoping I'm going to love this one just as much. I don't know if this is like a given to tell you, like, but I know I got a lot of people that watch me who aren't from the UK, and like books in the UK are like really cheap compared to overseas. Like a lot of these books I've got from like the supermarket, and they've literally been like £4.50, £5. Like, and I know like in America and stuff, like your books are like $20, which is insane. I am so grateful that I live in the UK. Whilst we're on the topic of talking about cheap books, I may as well tell you that I got these three books from The Works for £7.50. So in the UK, we have a shop called The Works, and they sell like craft stuff, but they also have a really good book selection. And the prices of books there are unmatched, literally unmatched. This deal did used to be 3 for £6, and it's only recently, I want to say like in the last month, gone up to 3 for £7.50, and people were kicking off. And I was thinking, are you mental? 3 for £7.50 is still really good. So all 3 of these books are from Steve Kavanagh, and they are part of his Eddie Flynn series. It is a series that I have read some of the books, but I've not read them in order. I've read them completely out of order, but they can be read as standalones. All of the books have just been printed with new covers, so I took it upon myself to buy 3. But listen, they had all 6 there, and I didn't buy all 6, so it could have been worse. But again, that would have been 6 books for £15. Mental. The ones I've read, I want to say I've read The Accomplice, and I've read 50/50. I haven't read any of these 3, but I'm really excited to, because I absolutely love Steve Kavanagh. His book, Kill for Me, Kill for You, I think it's called. That is a standalone, and I absolutely loved it. I read it last year. Also, fun fact, Steve Kavanagh used to be a barrister. I think he was a barrister or a lawyer. I'm pretty sure he was a barrister. So, like, he writes typically legal thrillers, and I think, God, he's going to know his stuff, innit? I bought myself a trophy copy of Lisa Jewell's Breaking the Dark. This is a book that I've read. I read it on NetGalley just before it came out last year. And again, wanted to get a trophy copy, but I wanted the paperback trophy copy. So I got it in Asda for £4.50, I think. So this is a Marvel book. Lisa Jewell wrote a Marvel book. I don't think I ever thought I would be saying those 2 words together, but she did. And a lot of people have been putting off reading this who are fans of Lisa Jewell because it's a Marvel book. I don't like Marvel. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but like I've never really like watched any of the films or anything apart from Deadpool. But I love this book still. I feel like it still felt like your true typical Lisa Jewell book, just with kind of like a different edge maybe. It felt a bit like more like crime and gritty than her typical ones, but it was still so good. And the reason it's classed as a Marvel book is because it follows a Marvel character called Detective Jessica Jones. She's not a detective, is she? She's a private investigator. Anyway, she's investigating these two teenagers who they've come back from visiting their dad in Essex, and they're a bit different. They're acting a bit weird. So the mum's like, I need you to find out what's gone on. So private investigator Jessica Jones from New York comes over to Essex. She comes over to Essex. And honestly, it was really good. Don't be put off by the fact that it is a Marvel book. If you're a fan of Lisa Jewell, I think you will like this. This is a children's book. Listen, right, sometimes I find myself in a slump, and sometimes I want to read a book that's really easy to read, that can just pull me out of it really quickly. And that, for me, that used to be YA. But I'm getting annoyed with YA because of their silly little romances in them. They're doing me head in. And like, I'm finding myself like not gravitating towards YA anymore. So my thinking behind this is, this follows an 11-year-old girl. There's not going to be any romance in there, is there, at the end of the day? And the premise of it sounds so cute, so wholesome. So it follows this girl called Tilly who lives above her grandparents' bookshop. I mean, intrigue immediately, 10 out of 10. And then one day, all the characters from Tilly's favourite books like appear in her life, and Tilly's mum went missing. Like, she don't know what happened to her, so they're gonna help her find her mum. And I just feel like it's just gonna be like such a cute, like, no thoughts, head empty book when you just want something that's easy to read. I mean, it is quite chunky considering it's a children's book. Like, it is still 350 pages. The text is like bigger. So yeah, it's probably not. It's probably about 200 pages. And it's part of a series as well. And I'm really excited, actually. So another children's book I've pre-ordered it, is Janice Hallett. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. Anyway, Janice Hallett typically writes in mixed media. Her books all like follow like mixed media format. She's wrote a kids one, A Box Full of Murders. I'm sure that's what it's called. Anyway, it's got really nice sprayed edges. So I've pre-ordered it. The next two books are books that I'm pretty sure were recommended by Hayley Hughes. This one definitely was. Let's talk about this one first. And it is Perfume and Pain by Anna Dawn. I absolutely love Hayley Hughes. I have watched her YouTube like for ages, way before I started my own YouTube. So yeah, this is one that she read recently and gave 5 stars. I mean, the pink and green, no, obsessed. So this follows an author who is a lesbian, and she's just had like her big break. She's just had a big break, and she's slowly going to descend into madness. So I don't know what genre this is again. Maybe this is like horror. I don't think it's given thriller. We'll see. But Hayley Hughes gave it 5 stars, and she's also a very character-driven reader, as am I, and our tastes do usually align. So again, this is another one that is on my TBR this month, so come back at the end of the month to see what I thought of it. And then I am 99.9% sure I've also seen this on her YouTube, maybe a while ago though actually, and that is Not So Perfect Strangers by L.S. Stratton. This paperback is huge. They're my favourite type of paperbacks. So this follows a woman who has finally found the courage to leave her abusive husband. She's in the car, she's about to do her getaway, when some woman starts like pounding on the window saying like, please help me, let me in your car. Turns out this woman is also trying to escape her husband. So our main character lets her in, and then shit goes down from there. This was actually in Waterstones as well. I picked it up in Waterstones, and I was quite shocked because yeah, we don't find like big paperbacks like this in our shops. The Final Act of Juliet Willoughby by Ellery Lloyd is one that got put on my radar by my friend Emma Reads Crime. She gave it 5 stars. Now listen, Emma is more stingy than me with her 5 stars. She literally doesn't ever give them out, but she gave this. So when I saw that, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And like from reading the blurb, this is also given like historical, because it says like Paris, 1938, Dubai now. So yeah, it's also been blurbed by John Mars. Wow, that's interesting. John Mars is one of my favourite authors. And I have only seen 2 people speaking about this book. I've seen Emma Reads Crime, and I also saw Meg with Books gave it 5 stars. So yeah, that was my tipping point. That's all I needed to buy this book. So I specifically went to Waterstones hunting this book out. Another book that I actually seen on Meg with Books YouTube was Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. I want to say she also gave this one 5 stars. And I really don't know much about this book apart from what I seen Meg with Books say. But I do know that we follow this family over a large span of time. And I love a book where we follow characters like across their whole lives. Like, it's my favorite kind of like, is it a trope? I don't know. I mean, it says it's spanning nearly 100 years of history. Pachinko is an unforgettable story of love, sacrifice, ambition, and loyalty told through 4 generations of one family. I mean, it is quite a chunky book. How many pages is it? 550. It looks bigger than that, to be fair. I feel like I've got to be in the right mood for these books though, you know, like, because they are like typically slow paced. They are a bit like slower moving. I bet it's not going to have short chapters, is it? No, probably not. Oh, this book is damaged. Look at it. It breaks my heart. I think I put it in the bag wrong. And then when I pulled it out, oh God, it hurt my heart. But anyway, it's Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books by Kirsten Miller. So the premise of this sounds so good. Basically, Lula Dean is petitioning for like all books to be banned. No, not all books, but any that like have gay characters in them, any that focus on like racism. She's trying to get them all banned. But there's a group of people who are against her. And what they start doing is they start replacing Lula Dean's books with the books that she's trying to ban. So then when people are coming to Lula Dean's library, they are finding books that they shouldn't technically be reading, and it's opening them up to like a whole new world of possibilities. Like, doesn't that sound incredible? The writing in this book is literally tiny. To be fair, I've seen that the audiobook for this is on BookBeat, so I have saved it, so it may be one that I do on audio. Another book that I've been waiting to come out in paperback is Liane Moriarty's Here One Moment. And I didn't actually know if this was the book that had just come out in paperback, because the hardcover cover was very different to this. So I have to like double check, because it does look very similar to like all her other books, like Big Little Lies and stuff. So yeah, I had to double check, but it is definitely. And I managed to get this for $4.99. It was in WH Smith, and because it was like their book of the month or something, it was half price. So yeah, such a bargain. And it follows a group of people who are all on a plane when a woman goes up to them and is like, starts predicting their futures. And like, are those futures gonna come true? Somebody in my comments said that if I like The Measure, I think it was, then I would enjoy this. And I'm gonna be reading The Measure this month. So hopefully I love that, and then I can come to this. I love like a bit of it's not dystopian, is it? Maybe magical realism. I'm not really sure what category. Liane Moriarty typically writes like literary, doesn't she? So I'm not sure. If you've read this book, let me know. Oh my God, you know how I showed you Grady Hendrix Horror Store and I said I've got another one coming up? I lied. I've got another 2 Grady Hendrix books. Honestly, what is wrong with me? This is what I do. Like, I read a book from an author and absolutely love it, and then like just want to buy their whole backlist. Oh God, I've got a problem. Anyway, the first is My Best Friend's Exorcism. Obsessed with the cover. It's like given 80s, isn't it? And I think I spoke about this in a reading vlog, and somebody was like, it's a movie. And I was like, shut up, I didn't know that. Or it could have been my friends who told me. Anyway, I digress. So I think this is set in the 80s. Love a nostalgic setting. People always go like, 80s nostalgic. Listen, I was not born in the 80s, all right? So it was nostalgic to me. And it follows 2 friends as one of them gets possessed, so she needs to be exorcised. So I think that's going to be camp horror. And like the cover of this, it literally looks like a videotape. So cool. And the next one I got was a 7 Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, because I don't know if any of you use Storygraph, but Storygraph uses AI to give you like specific book recommendations based on your previous book reviews. And this is always in it, like recommended to me. But because I wasn't in my Grady Hendrix era, I kind of ignored it. So then when I finished Witchcraft Away with Girls, I was like, yeah, this is my sign to get it. And also I panic bought it because it wasn't in stock on Amazon. Like literally you can't buy this book on Amazon. Well, you couldn't at the time. So I ordered it from Waterstones because I was like, oh God, if they're changing the cover or they're getting rid of the big copies, I'll be sad. So yeah, listen to me justifying myself. I can't. Buying books is like my only vice, okay? Like I don't spend loads of money on clothes. Like I don't really go out drinking. this is my hobby. The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I am such a big Jessa Hastings fan. I literally love her. I think she just has the most unique style of writing. So poetical, so beautiful. Definitely not for everyone, but it's for me. The Magnolia Park series is some of my favourite books. Daisy Hates especially. I just absolutely love it. This is Jessa Hastings' brand new standalone that she's come out with. And I know I said I'm not really buying hardbacks. I think this might actually be the only hardback. But yeah, I had to. The cover, I love it. And also like look at the end papers. Beautiful. Oh my God, no. I don't know much about this book. And that's the way I want to keep it. I kind of want to go into it blind. But I do know that Jessa Hastings writes like the most beautiful, tragic, toxic love stories, and that's what I'm expecting from this. And I have seen nothing but glowing reviews so far. I've seen it people say like they've like hesitant to try the Magnolia Park series, like because they think it might not be their thing, they've not read, like they don't know what to expect. And I always say, if you like Gossip Girl, you will love the Magnolia Parks books. They're literally my prized possessions. If my house was burning down, I would save them. Anyone else just buy the complete series when they've not even read the first book? Yeah, same. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Sutanto. I believe this follows like a 60-year-old woman that starts investigating crimes. And I mean, that's going to be me. Literally, that's going to be me when I retire. But the second book's just come out, so I just thought, oh, fine, I'll buy both. And I do think I'm going to love this book. I'm in my cozy mystery era. I love following older characters. And again, these are books that I have seen people giving glowing reviews on. And I may actually do the audiobook, because again, the audiobooks are on BookBeat, because I think is like an older woman that does narrate them, or somebody doing an older woman's voice. And I feel like that's just going to add like a whole nother layer to them, isn't it? Also, I love these covers, but I was annoyed because I bought this full price. I paid $9.99 for it. And then I went into Asda and it was in there for £5. And I was like, oh, good. Literally 24 hours later. But it's fine because I did buy it from an independent bookshop. So I supported them, you know. Guys, if you're overseas, like in America and stuff, obviously us British people, we love tea. Like we have the tea time alarm that goes off. And like I always think like when you like might read these books, do you think of like our British tea, or do you think of like the fruity teas, the herbal teas? I'm not a fan of them. I just like a good old Yorkshire tea, you know? V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think this is a fantasy, and I think it's historical because it says France 1714. I have seen very mixed opinions on this. People either seem to love it or hate it. There's no in between. And it's another one where I'm excited to see what side I'm going to fall on. It's not typically my usual thing. The reason I wanted to pick it up was because V.E. Schwab's got another book coming out in June called Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, I want to say. And that's about lesbian vampires. So I was like, let me see if I like her writing and stuff, like while I'm waiting for that one to come out. I think that's what I'm going to get in hardback. I think it's what I'm going to pre-order. It says The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a dazzling adventure across centuries and continents, across history and art, about a young woman learning how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. I think that sounds really good. I am intimidated though, I'm not going to lie. So if you think you've got like similar taste to me, let me know if you did enjoy this. Okay, these are the last two that I've bought, I think. I'm pretty sure they are. The first one is Sarah Waters' Tip in the Velvet, and I was really sad when I bought this book. So Amy took me out for the day, and she said I was having a horrible weekend. So she said, I'm going to take you for a coffee and I'm going to take you to the bookshop. So I bought this. We were at the bookshop. So yeah, I've got Fingersmith by this author. It's actually there on my TBR this month. So I'm gonna read that. And Sarah Waters writes Victorian lesbian books. Victorian lesbians? Lesbians in the Victorian era. I think they might be like mysteries / thrillers, but about lesbians in the Victorian era. I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't got a clue. All I needed to know was Victorian and lesbians, alright, and I bought it. But I got this from a bookshop near me, and it is called West Kirby Bookshop. They're an independent bookshop owned by two guys who are so lovely, and one of them said that they absolutely love this. and they love Sarah Waters in general, so that made me want to buy it even more. God guys, I don't realise how much I can talk. Like, I have been filming this video for an hour and these are just the books that I've bought. What is wrong with me? The next one is Elena Ferrante's My Brilliant Friend, because this is book 1 of the Neapolitan Quartet, which again follows a group of friends across their whole lives. I want to say this is like a modern classic. Like, I feel like this was published a long time ago. And I have seen people saying, like, if you're a very character-driven reader, you would really enjoy this. So yeah, this is book 1. Called My Brilliant Friend, and I am excited to see if I love it and hopefully continue the rest of the books. I want to say that each book follows one of the different friends. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, they're all the books that I bought myself, and these are books that I've been sent from publishers which are actually out. So let me tell you about these. Actually, I'm lying. This was kindly sent to me off my wish list from Charlotte, and I have again had there's a map. This is again one I've had on my radar ever since the Goodreads Choice Awards. I want to say this won the Goodreads Choice Awards, and it is a Huckleberry Finn retelling. I don't know anything about Huckleberry Finn, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but all I've seen is just amazing glowing reviews, and I did say I was going to read all of the Goodreads Choice Awards winners. Don't ask me how I'm getting on in that, because I don't actually think I've read many, but this is one of them. Like, it's literally blurbed. Who should read this book? Every single person in this country. Truly extraordinary books are rare, and this is one of them. I mean, you couldn't get more positive, could you? This is book 13 in Chris Carter's Detective Robert Hunter series. Book 13. It's just come out in paperback, so the publisher kindly sent me a copy when it came out in paperback. I want to say I'm on, like, book 7 of the series, maybe. Book 7. But you can read them all as standalones. I'm forever hammering that message home. Like, you actually can. And I'm the sort of person who won't read books, like, out of order. You absolutely can with these. So Chris Carter's Detective Robert Hunter series follows Detective Robert Hunter as he is investigating a different case every single time. I don't know if I'm going to carry on reading the series in order. I think I may skip a few, because honestly they're getting so repetitive. I think I'm just going to read the blurbs of the ones I've got left and pick from there. But I have heard really good things about this one. Just know they are the darkest thriller books you will ever read. That's all you need to know. Imran Mahmood's Finding Sophie. This is about finding Sophie. So in this book, Sophie's gone missing, and the two parents, Harry and Zara, are obviously doing anything they can to find their daughter, but the police have kind of given up hope. They're like, nope, sorry, we can't really do much else, but they think their neighbour's involved. So the parents are going to take it into their own hands and find out what happened to Sophie. I do love a missing kid, not going to lie, I do. Maybe because I haven't got any kids of my own, you know, apart from my cats. Maybe I should read a book about a missing cat. That would probably hit home more for me. Robert Gould's 9 Hidden Lives. This is a hardback. And I want to say that this is part of a series, but I think it's one of those series that, again, can be read as standalones, but I haven't read any of the others in the series. But I did speak to my friend Carly, who has read book 1, and she checked her Goodreads and she rated it really highly. So I was like, oh, I'm probably going to like it then too. Talking about cats, I've been sent a memoir of 30 cats. If ever a book was written for me, it is this. Like, look at the press release that has come with it. Like, that's the author with her cat. Well, she's a cat rescuer, and now she's written this book all about cats, and I just know it's going to be like the most wholesome thing ever. Like, literally, I'm so excited to read it. I feel like it's going to be like, I hope it's not going to make me cry. Oh God, I will cry over cats. Won't cry over humans, cats all day long. And it's got like such cute illustrations of the cats I think she's going to be talking about as well. Like this one's Sad Boy and Lola. Wife by Charlotte Mendelsohn. I thought this was a romance when I first picked it up. I thought it was a lesbian romance. It's not. It specifically says this is a tragic story of what love, like how love can ruin your life basically. But yeah, it's about lesbians. I think this has just come out actually. This is a finished copy of it. But I think it has literally just come out this month. I feel like I've not read many like lesbian, like not romances. I don't know, it's probably going to be like literary, isn't it? And I feel like it's been a while since I've read like a literary book about like lesbians. And I know I joke about it all the time, guys, that if a book says lesbian, I'll get it. But I do feel like I haven't read actually many like books about like that aren't thriller. Shut up, Michaela, what are you talking about? The 1st of May it was published. It's out now. Oh my god, so I've just seen a blurb that said, oh no, it's the paper. Oh my god, it's coming apart. It's literally coming apart. This is a love story, Zoe tells the reader, and is profoundly so in the end, but I'll remember it more as a thriller. Oh my god, say less. The next book came with an evidence bag. It came with an evidence bag and like evidence logs. Sorry, what? Love it. And the book is Human Remains by Jo Callahan. I have been banging on about this book series ever since I read it last month. I'm literally getting everybody to read it because it is my new obsession. The first book is In the Blink of an Eye. The second one is Leave No Trace, which I literally finished this morning. And this is the third book, Human Remains, which came out last month. If you've not read this series, I just need you to trust me. I need you to trust me and go and read it. I actually did the audiobooks and the audiobooks were absolutely incredible. So if you're looking for a good audiobook rec, like, yeah. So it's a police procedural thriller book series, but it follows Detective Cat Locke and her AI companion, Aid Locke. So it's about how AI is being introduced, like how they're working alongside each other and the good and bad of that. And that sounds a bit shit, doesn't it? It does, let's be real. But I'm just going to need you to trust me. It's so good. And from what I've seen from people who have read the series and have read this, apparently this is the best one yet. Right, guys, have no fear. The end is near. The last books I want to talk to you about are advanced copies of books that I've been sent that are not out yet. Dead of Night by Lisa Gray. The author was so kind to send me a copy of this book herself, and she's even signed it, which is so lovely. And I want to say that this is out this month. I'll put on screen the date is coming out. But this is on this month's TBR again, and I can't wait to tell you what I think of it because the premise of it sounds so up my street, unreal. So this follows a crime writer, and sadly her husband has passed away, so she's like struggling writing her next book. So she's booked herself into this like luxurious home and she's just going to escape there for a bit. But the neighbours aren't happy. The neighbours are kicking off because they found out that she's a crime author and they think she's trying to write her next book on what happens in that house. And like they're trying to hide stuff. And if you know anything about my book taste, you know that I love books about authors. I literally do. I love it. I eat it up every single time. And yeah, this, I'm excited. I'm excited for all of these books. Take a shot however many times I've said excited in this video. Actually, don't do that. No One Would Do What the Lamberts Have Done by Sophie Hannah. What have the Lamberts done? I love Sophie Hannah. I think she's an absolutely incredible author. I read what did Melody do? Something along those lines. That one of those books by her, and I absolutely loved it. I rated it 5 stars. I very rarely give thriller books 5 stars. So when the publisher contacted me and asked me if I would like an arc of this, I was like, yes, I would. Yes, please. Did you see Melody? That's what the book's called. Did You See Melody? Love it. Go read that book. And I believe that this just follows like an ordinary family when one day somebody like knocks on the door, like a police officer knocks on the door with the worst news ever. And like they never thought they would be in that position. I don't know what it is. Like I'm not trying to be secretive here. Like I actually don't know. And they never thought that they would be in that position until they were. And they've got to take matters into their own hands. So what no one would do what the Lamberts have done. What have they done? Right, the next book, I was a bit cheeky. So I got contacted and asked if I would like a copy of this. And I was like, yes, please. Because it's about a woman that is running an ultra marathon. It's a thriller. It's called Runner 13 by Amy McCulloch. And the reason I said yes is because Amy is a massive runner. Like she loves running. Can't relate. And I've mentioned it loads of times, but Amy's like very new on her reading journey and she started reading after much persuasion from me to help her sleep at night. So I thought, oh, maybe this would be one that she would be really interested in, and she's gonna read it. So this is about a woman that is competing in an ultra marathon. I want to say like ultra marathons are over 100 miles. I'm not really interested in ultra marathons, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyway, she is taking part in this ultra marathon that is running through a desert, but there's a killer on the loose. But obviously she's in the middle of a desert because she's doing this ultra marathon, so like she's got to run faster, you know? That's the only way you would get me running. That's the only way. And I think Amy McCulloch is actually a runner herself. So yeah, I will still read this. I will still read it even though I'm not interested in running because it does actually sound pretty good. But the reason I said yes to it was because I thought Amy would love it. Good. girlfriend, you know. This is coming out on June the 19th, and so is the Sophie Hannah book as well. They're both coming out June. You're not ready for June's book releases, honestly. Just you wait. And I've saved the best 2 books for last. So if you're still here, then like, yeah, you are getting the best books. So the first one is, I couldn't believe it when I received this. I could have cried. I literally could have cried. It is Karen Slaughter's We Are All Guilty Here. I got an arc of Karen Slaughter's book. I'm sorry, what? Like, pinch me. Literally pinch me. Like, let me just go off on a tangent here a second. But when I very first started my TikTok in December of 2022, that's when I started my TikTok. And I said to Amy, I just want people to talk to about books. I literally just want people to talk to about books. And because I didn't have anybody in like my actual real life who I could talk to about. And I said, my goal is that somebody will send me a book. Somebody will send me a book. And now look at me. And I pinch myself every single day. I never, ever, ever take it for granted. Every time I hear a book like drop through the door, I squeal with excitement and just know that like I don't take any of this for granted. I really, really don't. Anyway, bloody Karen Slaughter's next book. Oh my God, I know, guys. Oh, I hope you're screaming for me. I love Karen Slaughter. I absolutely think she is one of the most incredible thriller authors like of our time. Wow, like give her a bloody crown. Anyway, she's starting a new series. So obviously she's got the Grant County and the Will Trent series, but she's starting a new series. And yeah, this is it. This is book 1. We Are All Guilty Here. And we have, me and my friend Emma from Emma Reads Crime, we both have an in-person book club, and we're going to be reading like this book, and then hopefully like every year when a new book comes out we can read it as part of the book club, and it can be like our little thing, and I think that's so cute. So this book is set in a small town, as Karen Slaughter does best. She bloody loves a little small town, doesn't she? And 2 teenage girls have gone missing, and Officer Emmy Clinton is on the case. So I'm guessing that maybe she's going to be like the new person that we're going to be following in this series, maybe in this small town. And honestly, I'm so excited. I think this comes out on the 19th of June. I told you guys, June is going to be an unreal month. Secrets don't stay secret long in publishing. This book isn't out until next year. Not out until June 2026. This is a very, very advanced copy. I got contacted and said, we've only got 12 proofs of these, 12. And we would love it if we could send you one. And I was like, shut the front door. Please, yes, please. This book is written under a pseudonym. The ending writes itself by Evelyn Clark. Evelyn Clark is not a real name. This is 2 best-selling authors who have written books for over 10 years. They are published. And they have teamed together to write this book. And they're doing it under the pseudonym Evelyn Clark. And we don't know who these people are. And I genuinely don't know who these people are. Like, there's a bit of a guessing game going on at the minute. People are guessing, like, who they think the authors are. And, like, I was thinking, like, Evelyn Clark's got to be, like, a hint towards something, hasn't it? Like, Evelyn, I thought Evelyn Hugo, or Evelyn Hardcastle for Stuart Turton, Taylor Jenkins Reid for Evelyn Hugo. And then Clark, I haven't got a clue. I really don't know who it could be. If you've got any guesses, leave them in the comments. So the premise of this is given a bit of You Are Fatally Invited, because it follows 6 authors who are invited to a private island where they are going to compete for the chance to have their book published. Or maybe like the writing retreat by Julia Barnes, actually. And so we're following 6 authors. I mean, it's right up my street straight away, isn't it? So yeah, I wonder when and how we're going to find out like who the publisher is. I literally have no idea. Bloody exciting. I'll tell you that for free though. Guys, that's it. That's all the books. There was over 40 books. What the hell? Don't judge me. If you're a book lover, I'm sure you can understand. If you have made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. You may as well hit the subscribe button. You've been here long enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought of them, and I shall see you next time.